there guys, and welcome to a Dash of Sports Premier League review. I'll be your host and presenter Dashiki Dash with all your roundup of games and results for this week. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Also make sure that you lock into this week's episode of a Dash of Sports for all things sports related, hot topics and trending stories. So welcome back to the Premier League game week 5, and I tell you what, I'm so glad we're back, man. After them boring international games. Oh man, I hate the international break. But hey, listen, like I said, the Premier's back and it did not disappoint as it served us up some real, some real top flight games. Especially with the 2 derbies this past week. And listen, I can't start nowhere else. Nowhere else. But starting with Tottenham versus West Ham at the new White Hart Lane Stadium. Now, this actually has to go down as one of the best London derbies and classic London derbies, as Tottenham raced into a 3-goal lead against West Ham, but somehow ended up drawing 3-3 with an absolute worldie of an equaliser from Manuel Lanzini. I still can't believe that Tottenham let a 3-goal lead go like that. Well, how this all started was with a goal from Son. Son he's in absolute red hot form right now. Everything that he touches right now is just going in. A goal that was set up by Harry Kane literally within the first, 45 seconds? Like the first minute, let's just say. Son scores to make it 1-0. Then Harry Kane shortly scores after that within like 8 minutes. And then scores again by the 16th minute. So you're thinking to yourself, Tottenham are in 1000% cruise control. Second half, West Ham come out like real irons. They came out with that iron spirit. I'm literally lost for words by this game. It's like West Ham scored in the 82nd minute by Fabian Valbuena. Second goal comes with an own goal by Davinson Sanchez. But unfortunately, Davinson Sanchez headed towards his goal. That makes it 3-2. 3-2 now. Gareth Bale has been played through by Kane. And you just think to yourself, this is just written in the stars. Return of Gareth Bale comes on late on in the game, to be fair. I thought he was going to start. He comes on. He gets his chance. Good footwork to get into the box. Little 1-2 Ciara step. But then just shanks it wide. That would have made it 4-2. Game would have been over. But then, free kick for West Ham. Now this is a real good moment. Like David Moyes has to get his praise in the tactics that he adopted in the second half. And also this substitution. Not many people will give this full ratings, but Snodgrass comes on and gets a free kick. Well worked. I don't know, he was shuffling in front of the defender, got pushed, free kick. They take the free kick, but there was a little commotion in the area. Referee calls it back. Really good free kick as well. Played in between the goalkeeper and the 6-yard box, but the referees called it back. They take another free kick, same delivery, same decent cross, but it gets cleared, it comes out, and then Lanzini. The best way I can describe this goal is, do you remember Iniesta against Chelsea in the Champions League? That's exactly it. This is probably even, I would even say slightly better because it was further out. But still both quality goals. If there was fans in the stadium, the whole of the West Ham supporters would have just, that whole stadium would have been rocking. No fans, but still, it did not take away from the absolute jubilation, the celebration. I reckon David Moyes didn't want to attempt the knee slide because they would have probably broke his knees, but hey, he was celebrating. Lanzini took off his top, they were celebrating, and the whole of the Tottenham team were just, they were dejected, flat, depleted, gone, finished. Oh my goodness, what a game. Now moving on to the next derby, moving up north. Everton 2, Liverpool 2 in a thrilling Merseyside derby which ended all square after a late Calvert-Lewin goal. Dominic Calvert-Lewin continued his impressive start to the Premier League season with a late header to earn Everton a 2-2 draw against Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. Well, before I start getting into all the drama of the game, where do I start with this? Starting off with Sadio Mane scoring in the first couple of minutes of the game, fresh from his return, from his recovery from the coronavirus. And he didn't look like he missed a beat, he didn't look like he missed a step. Fresh back, scores his goal, Liverpool 1-0 up. So now you're thinking to yourself, all right, cool. Liverpool, you know how they get into their groove, they get into the mood, they're going to probably score again. No, Michael Keane scores. That makes it 1-1. And then now this is where all the drama starts. Now, the drama started off in the first half as Everton escaped a red card and penalty for goalkeeper Jordan Pickford. As the challenge was so bad, man. It was so bad on Virgil van Dijk, which literally ended his afternoon. And they couldn't even bring it back. There was no retrospective decision. So prior to the challenge, there was an offside decision, which then, during that period of time, Pickford then came out what I can best describe as like a Peter Schmeichel-esque, like spreading yourself out. But it was literally right on his knee. And that was it for Van Dijk. He was out of the game. He limped off, so it didn't look so bad, but from what we're hearing right now, he's going to have surgery, and the type of injury that he's got, basically, that's like a 4 to 8 month layoff. Last season, Liverpool, they done well with not getting any major injuries to their superstars, and this season with Alisson out, Van Dijk out, well, Alisson's going to be back soon, but they're getting the injuries, and I don't know, man. If Liverpool continue like this, I reckon the season's going to be wide open. Well, by this time now, Joe Gomez comes to replace Virgil van Dijk, and it seemed like he was doing okay. Liverpool seemed like they were doing okay as they went 2-1 up with a goal from Mo Salah, and I thought by then, all right, Liverpool are going to cruise, maybe stumble across the line, but they're going to end up getting 3 points. But then that guy, DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, steps up again, leaps up with a towering header, and man, he must be doing his extra training with Big Duncan Ferguson, because these headed goals are lethal right now, lethal. Well, DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores to make it 2-2, so you're thinking to yourself, well, Everton have got this, they're going to nick themselves a point. Well, with the last 10 minutes to go, Richarlison then fouls Thiago. It's literally deemed a red card. He's off. Everton now a man down, and you think to yourself, okay, are they going to be able to hold on? Well, Jordan Henderson thought he had won it in the 5 minutes of added time against a 10-man Everton when Pickford fumbled his shot, but the goal was ruled out for the tightest of offside decisions against Sadio Mane. Now, I'm all for VAR. But this decision right here, it was the tightest of margins. Like, literally, for me, I don't even think it was offside, because if you look at it properly, if they're really saying that it was offside, the only thing that they could deem that was offside, the part of body, was his elbow. Now, we all know that to be offside, it has to be the part of your body that can score a goal, that you can score a goal with, right? So where was the offside? Like, his armpit was literally in line with the defender's trailing foot. So I feel for Liverpool, and the decision was made. It was deemed offside, goal chalked off, and Everton managed to escape with a point, and Liverpool, boy, with the injuries to Virgil van Dijk, and I'm hearing also Thiago might be injured as well with a knee injury. It's a low point for Liverpool right now, a real low point. And now moving on to the rest of the fixtures from game week 5, and starting off with the first ball fest, stalemate of the season this past Monday, West Brom versus Burnley, and there's not much I could talk about this game. Real boring, 0-0, no goals. This is the first game of the Premier League with no goals, which I'm not really that surprised. West Brom looking like they're relegation bound, and Burnley as well. They've not really done much with their squad this season. I'm tipping them to go down as well. So 0-0, fair result, I guess. Point each, but still a ball fest. I just feel sorry for all the fans that paid £14.95 or £15, however much it costs now for Premier League games. It's those fans that pay for the game, those are the ones that suffered. And moving on to the next game, Leeds versus Wolves, as Nuno Espirito Santos' men took all 3 points, with the only goal scored by Raul Jimenez, who scored his 3rd goal of the season for Wolves, which moved them into 6th position in the Premier League. Now, it hasn't been the best start for Wolves, losing obviously their first 2 games. They've won their last 3 games, so they're clawing it back, but still yet to show the type of form that they did last season. Now, with Leeds, I did mention this, I was quite fearful in terms of how they'll be playing this season. These are the type of games I would have, I don't know, maybe seen them get a point, especially playing at home. Well, not to say that it's a much different nowadays, home and away, but I thought that they would get at least a point from this game. But there's still many games to go. The way Leeds are playing, it is refreshing. It is good to see. They're playing expansive football. But I would just like to see them mix it up. And when it comes to the nitty gritty, can they really grind out results? So now moving on to Sunday's round of fixtures, which involved Tottenham and West Ham's amazing 3-3 London derby. Starting off with Sheffield United versus Fulham. Substitute Billy Sharp grabbed a late equaliser from the penalty spot to salvage a point for Sheffield United against Fulham at Bramall Lane. Well, this was a response to Fulham's opener from Ademola Lookman, who scored Fulham's opener, but then Billy Sharp equalised with the penalty. Well, I'm not surprised that it ended 1-1 with both teams struggling to get a victory, and it wasn't really a great game, but 1-1, points shared, points apiece. Now moving on to another score draw between Crystal Palace and Brighton. Brighton huffed and puffed their way to earn a point against Crystal Palace in a real spicy game, which saw Captain Lewis Dunk get sent off literally in the last moments of injury time. Well, Brighton almost left Selhurst Park without a point, but it took a last-minute equaliser from Alexis McAllister to pull them level against their bitter rivals. That last-minute goal actually cancelled out Wilfried Zaha's early penalty, but definitely was a draw that was very much deserved for Brighton. We're now moving on to this next game where the result actually took me by surprise, but if we're looking at Aston Villa's form, I don't think it's a real surprise, do you? Aston Villa beating Leicester away at the King Power Stadium, beating them 1-0 with a late Ross Barkley goal. And then to add to that, another clean sheet for Emiliano Martinez. Oh, man. I want to ask this question again. Did Arsenal make a mistake? I don't think so, but he is a quality goalkeeper. And if Arsenal could have kept him as a number 2, then you know to yourself that they would definitely have been in safe hands of having 2 top quality goalkeepers. But once again, a great signing for Aston Villa with Martinez, and another great signing with Ross Barkley, who I knew going to Aston Villa would be the best thing for him, because he's able to express himself there, and also he's able to allow Jack Grealish to play as well. So it's a great combination between the two, and now Ross Barkley scores the winner to earn Aston Villa all 3 points. Now moving on to Saturday's fixtures, which involved a 2-2 draw between Everton and Liverpool. Well, starting with Chelsea, who were held to a thrilling 3-3 draw by Southampton. Like I keep saying, this Premier League season so far, the way it started, these type of results, 3-3, Chelsea, Southampton. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Well, Frank Lampard's Blues opened up the scoring at Stamford Bridge with a lovely individual goal from Timo Werner, who finally opened up his account. And then shortly afterwards, he scored his 2nd goal with another individual effort, flicking the ball over the goalkeeper's head and then header it in with 2 defenders closing in. But then Danny Ings scored to give the Saints some hope. And then Ched Adams scored to make it 2-2. By now I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, what's going to happen here? But then Kai Havertz easily converted a tap-in that was set up by Timo Werner to make it 3-2. But then in injury time, with a loose shot from Loney Theo Walcott, that literally it seemed like it was going wide, or the effort wasn't great. Which then Yannick Vestergaard headed it in, a low header, to make it 3-3 in injury time. Now you can't write this script. You literally can't write this script. I thought Chelsea were cruising 2-0 up with 2 great goals from Werner, and I thought they were on the way, but no. Southampton clawed it back with Danny Ings, Ched Adams, and then that equalising, late equaliser from Yannick Vestergaard, and 3-3. Frank Lampard, he's got a young team, very good attacking, very good attacking, but are they really going to be putting in the work, the dogged work to really defend Leeds? And as you've seen it, Southampton managed to get their goals and clawed it back to earn themselves a point. And now moving on to the next game, Man City versus Arsenal, the teacher versus the apprentice. Well, last time the apprentice, Mikel Arteta, got one over the teacher, Pep Guardiola. But on this occasion, no, Man City beat Arsenal 1-0 to condemn Arsenal to another away defeat to a top 6 team with an abysmal record that Arsenal has. Well, both sides had chances in the first half, but Raheem Sterling's goal separated the sides in the... You know what, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. A real disappointing game. And I think I'm going to put the onus more on Arsenal because I felt like a full strengthened Arsenal team with all their players against a Man City team that was missing the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, had like a 50 to 60% Sergio Aguero. And, you know, the way they played wasn't great. But Arsenal just did not take it to them. I felt like they gave them far too much. They paid them far too much respect. And I don't know. I think Arteta just got it wrong. And yeah, I know that everybody was asking for Partey to start. I don't think it would have been right for him to start, especially that he only had like, what, a day and a bit to train with the first team. Now, I'm sure he's got experience in playing in big games. But I don't think it was fair for him to start. Okay, I get it. But this false 9 with playing Willian down the middle and you had Aubameyang out once again wide. Walker had him in his pocket all game. I just can't believe they didn't change that up. The chances that Arsenal had, Saka, man of the match for Arsenal, I would say. He played out of his skin. Yet again, really intelligent player. But he was the only one that had a chance on goal. The rest of them just, I don't know. It's really disappointing to see that Arsenal didn't give it a go. I felt like Arsenal were more than capable to take all 3 points, but yeah, a real disappointing display. I felt like, yeah, they should have done better. Well, last but not least, Man United versus Newcastle, as a late flurry of goals saw United win 4-1. With goals from Bruno Fernandes as he made up for a missed penalty earlier on in the game to equalise, as Man United actually got off to a bad start with a deflected own goal from Luke Shaw as they conceded in the first couple minutes. And what better way to answer your critics with a goal from United captain Harry Maguire, which made it 2-1 in the 23rd minute, and with the likes of Wan-Bissaka scoring, then capped off with a goal from Marcus Rashford right at the end as Man United went on to thrash Newcastle 4-1. Well, hey, I guess Ollie's back at the wheel now, right? But listen, what a way to respond, especially after the Spurs defeat. You got to bounce back straight away. And that's just going to give them a massive confidence in regards to just bouncing back, beating Newcastle, who have been in good form as well. They've been in good form, beating them 4-1. Can only push on from there. And like I said, Ollie's back at the wheel. So United fans, you need to chill out, support your manager. He's back at the wheel. So that's a wrap for today. But like I said at the beginning of the show, the Premier League does not disappoint. And it truly did not disappoint, especially upon its return since the international break. Because that was boring, man. I hate international breaks. But let me know what game stood out for you in game week 5. For me, it was the Tottenham versus West Ham game, the Everton versus Liverpool game, and the Chelsea versus Southampton game. Good, high-scoring games. You had 2-2, you had 3-3 on 2 occasions. But let me know if there's any games that stood out for you. You let me know. And also, how well did your team do this week? Did they win? Did they lose? Did they draw? Let me know. Put your comments down below and let me know. And don't forget to watch this week's episode of A Dash of Sports, episode 27, where I'm going to be discussing all things sports related, hot topics and trending stories, and also expanding on the free London derby draw between Tottenham and West Ham. 3-0 up. Spurs were 3-0 up. And they messed it up. Oh my goodness me. But hey, listen, thank you very much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And until the next time here on the Dash of Sports Premier League Review, peace.